Hello, my name's Rob and welcome to Swift Slots. In this episode I'd like to share with you my build of my little Skeletrix Metro 6R4 body shell. About a month ago my local club took part in a proxy race, and in that proxy race there was a little Metro 6R4 from a team called Bangers. I met the guy at the staff's rally. Really nice guy, very keen to show me the car, and I was really pleased to be able to see the car again in the actual owner's hand. And he went through the whole car and showed me all about it, and it was great. And I told him that it inspired me to do my own little 6R4 project. So here it is. I haven't finished it yet. There's a fair way to go, but not too much really. So I'd like to just bring you down to the bench and show you where I'm at with it and what I intend to do just to get it finished. And then when it's finished, we'll take it round Crow Valley and see if I've created what I hope I've created. So here we have this basic Skeletrix Metro 6R4 body shell. Now what I've done here is I've glued all of the skirting around the body, completely glued it all the way around with the pink zap that I told you about before. And then I've gone around and I've dremeled out all of the excess material that's just not needed, and then I've gone over again and thinned all the plastic here on every surface that I could think of to get the plastic down just a little bit thinner to lighten the body up. And if I'm not greatly mistaken, I've got this body down to about 12 grams as it sits at the moment. There's obviously an interior to go into it and some lightweight glass. So in regards to the interior, if you remember from my 037 project, I abandoned the interior that I had. So what I've done is I've reused it. I will be reusing it in this Metro. So we got the 037 driver heads plonked onto a vacuum formed interior with the 037 gear shifter and the little fire extinguisher. So that will eventually be married up to the Metro, and it fits it pretty well. I think I shall make up a piece to go on the back, a piece of black just to fill in the back. Seems a shame to waste this one because it looks pretty good, I think. So that'll be really cool. And then the windows, I'm going to be using this. Now this was, I literally went into my local town to find packaging. I wasn't too bothered about the contents. I wanted the box. So with this box came with a doorbell, which we needed as well, which was a rather happy coincidence. $8.99 or $7.99 from my local shop. But I noticed this evening, before I did this video, this piece of plastic here is lovely and curved, and so is this one here. So if I can't simply use a window template from the back here or piece here, I could even possibly use the curvature from either of these two angles to go onto the windscreen. And I think I got a fighting chance then I might be able to use this actual curve to get the curve of the window. If not, I just make it flat, make it as a template and bung it up inside the body. So that takes care of the glass and the interior. So where we're at the moment with the chassis is my club rules, and I'd like to try and get this car for a rally. So I want to try and stay within the rules of my club and not just do a straight out build. They say plastic chassis only, or 3D printed. Well, I don't really want a 3D printed one, so I've gone with a plastic chassis. So what I've done is I've made this chassis from scratch, from absolutely nothing, because I was given the Metro body, just the body, nothing else. I didn't want anything else, I only wanted the body. So I've made this chassis from 1.5mm black plasticard. Now plasticard's not particularly great, it doesn't last very long in a flat form, it tends to want to bend. So what I've done is you've got a plasticard base, plasticard sides, which is mainly plastic, plasticard quadrant in these corners, I think it's 1.5mm quadrant to strengthen up the channel, and then I've put carbon fibre down the sides. Now I've got some carbon fibre, it's about 6mm by 1mm, and I've feathered out the ends so that it's just a tiny, I don't know if you can even pick it up on the camera, that it doesn't just stop here, it comes around the bearing and it goes right to the edge there underneath this bearing, just like a finger that runs down the inside, just to strengthen up down there as well. and that will get the strength into the front end, more or less. There's a bit of strength in this plastic card. I don't think it's going to go anywhere, but just in case. And the same on the back, so it goes right down the back here. Now, we've obviously got a slotted motor pod in here. There'll be a slotted 28 tooth pinion on a 9 tooth pinion there. And this is an old auto scale, I believe they are. I think motor from about 15 years ago when I first did my slot car racing. So that's that. Scale Auto, sorry, Scale Auto. And then we've got some extra axles, and also we've got some alloy wheels in here. They are the PCS Classic, so Pendle Slot Classic alloy wheels. They are the 14-inch wide wheels, so they're 12 by 9. And inside here we've got the team slot inserts turned down on my lathe and then pushed inside as well. So that's what they are. And the tyres are NSR 17 by 10s Super Grip, and they actually fit very, very nicely. When I stop making a complete mess of getting this tyre on, they do actually fit rather well. So there we go. Now the bearings, they're actually made by me on my lathe. These are brass bearings put into place, and they're stiff at the moment. They're not actually stiff. The bearings just need, finally adjusting and honing out to the final finished size. But they're pretty close. They're not too bad. The back end's a bit strange because I've had to come through the channel here with a larger hole so that I can still get some float. You can see there's actually float there. I've got a bolt in here, so it's all kind of stiff. But you can see that there is actually float going on there with the axles going through the chassis. That's a bit of an unconventional design, I know, but the chassis limits are so restrictive with the body that I really am struggling for space. Now there we are there. So those wheels are now absolutely flush. They're actually marginally inset by about 0.5 millimeter. They're about 0.5 millimeter inset. So when this is finally finished, you'll gain 0.5 millimeter clearance in here, and that will help. So that's okay. But there's the fundamental chassis. The guide I've made with a little recess on the lathe, and I'll put a picture up now of how I've done that. So that is the actual, there's a little bit of reinforcing here as well to thicken up the front end, because a plastic card, as I said, doesn't really hold its shape that well. So I've put a triangle of reinforcement in here, and this part here, the guide holder was turned up on the lathe, and the guide will fit in there. Obviously I need to do a bit more work around here to get the guide to turn, but that's okay, that all works. And then the sides, just for the sake of making it lighter, I don't think it's going to make any difference at all, I just drilled some holes and gone in with the Dremel, opened them all up and cleaned up all the holes, and just a bit of lightening. So eventually what will happen when I finish it, there will be arms coming out of here, or a plate of some description. I shall glue in some body mounts here and here and here and here, and fix the screws in so I can hold it. Obviously all the screws and everything else will go in, that'll all be fine. Interior go in, glass will go in, finish the guide adjustments there, and we should end up with, hopefully, quite a nice little nippy car. That's the plan. So there we go. As you can see, there is the basic concept. It's all fitting in there rather nicely. I think those team slot inserts look really, really cool myself. I think they look really good. Maybe that's a better way to show it. But there we are. But it's incredibly low to the track. Because these wheels are so small, you've got about 1 millimeter clearance across the bottom, which will be interesting. If it is too low, I'll just get some bigger tyres. I'm sure they'll be fine though. As you can see, the guide here needs to recess down a little bit more, but that'll all come in nicely. I've also got the wing mirrors that you might have seen from my box the other day when I did the unboxing. That's what the wing mirrors were for. It's for this little Metro project. So hopefully that's interested some people, and I shall be doing another update video in about a week, and this car will be finished. I'll take some pictures as I go of maybe bits that might be vaguely interesting to look at, but to be honest with you, as you can see, the chassis is basically done, so there won't be a lot to see from a building perspective. It'll be more a case of just putting the last bits together, fettling it into place so everything's all free and running nicely, and we get the interior in. Just that'll be cool. And there we are. We'll have a nice little metro project to see just how fast we can get a classic Skeletrix Metro 6R4 around Crow Valley. So a fast time round Crow Valley is about 50 seconds. 55 is okay, 50 is quick. Anything below 50 is flying. So if I can get this little car around Crow Valley in 50 seconds or less, that would be phenomenal. But we'll see. So hopefully you're as interested as I am to see how quick I can get this around my track and see how my homebrew chassis actually works. Never done it before, got to give it a go. So if this is interesting to you, maybe you might want to subscribe and hit the bell. That would be awesome. Thank you very much.